Hey, welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith with. It's the interview series presented by WFPK at WFPK.org, Consequence, and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thank you so much, as always, for making your way here, checking out the series. You know what to do. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. I put out 3 new interviews every single week, so it's a great way to keep up with your favorite artist. I'm excited to be talking with Caleb McLaughlin today. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
All right. So, of course, we know you from the acting world usually, Stranger Things, Concrete Cowboys recently, but you've just released your very first single called Neighborhood. And first off, what a really great, I mean, if this is going to be your first single, most people's first singles aren't this good. This is really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh man, I know, yeah, it's my first single. I appreciate, your love and that I'm glad you like the song. I've been working on music for the last 4 years. You know, it was funny. A memory popped up in my song, my very first song that was written for me 4 years ago, and I was singing it, and I was like, wow, I've been working on it this long. I've been cooking in the kitchen, so I got a whole bunch of songs that I'm ready to drop, but I had to drop you guys a little smooth joint real quick before, we get right to the EP.
So let's hear about that journey then, the journey to you becoming a musician, a songwriter, whatever, however you want to, call yourself right there. But 4 years, I mean, what happened then? What was the decision then? And why 4 years to now?
Well, I mean, I grew up in performing arts. I was on Broadway for 2 years, singing, acting, all of that. But acting was always my first love. But I kind of just felt that, I have a talent. I can sing, I can perform, and I love music. Like Stevie Wonder is my favorite artist of all time. So I was like, you know what? I want to bring people into my world, my life, my sound, and I just want to cultivate that and just have fun with it. My life is my life, and I just want to bring people more into my thoughts and what I think about and bring it into and put it into music. And I remember just sitting down like at a hotel one day with my manager, and he's the reason why we got into the studio. And he was like, yeah, I got a guy that you can work with. If you let me know when you want to do music. He's been telling me like for like the last year, not like at that time, like 4 years ago. He's like, hey, just let me know when you want to do music. And he was playing this beat, and I was like, yo, this is you? He's like, yeah, we got a whole bunch of this stuff. I was like, I want to do music. And then like a couple of months later, I went into the studio, just started doing more vocal training. It's different from Broadway than like studio singing and the singing that I'm trying to do, like pop, R&B, different stuff that I'm like, we got a like reggae song. It could be a rock song, whatever whatever comes to mind and whatever comes to mind, whatever ideas we have. So yeah.
Yeah. Back it up. I mean, you mentioned the Broadway thing there. I think I read what The Lion King was part of that. Did I see that you'd also done some opera? Did I read that right?
Yeah. I performed in, well, one opera, but I did it twice. I was in the Glimmerglass Opera House. I played it was called um Lost in the Stars, and I did that in upstate New York, Cooperstown. I sang, performed. It was an opera, what you have to do in an opera. I'm trained vocally, and then I did it like maybe a few years later, like 3 years later again, and DC at the John F. Kennedy Center. Is that the right? Am I saying? Is
That
that?
sounds right. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
I think
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
right.
yeah.
We'll say you're right.
And yeah, we'll say I'm right. We'll say I'm right. But I did that again, the same show, but it's a wonderful, beautiful show. Uh, but yeah, I'm pretty I'm not new to the game, so I know what it is to really go dive deep and work on my craft. And before everyone knew who I was, that's what I did. I started off in theater, community theater, learning like the techniques, the art.
Yeah. So when you go over, I'm just going to broadly say to pop music, what is the difference of that? Do you have to train yourself in a different way? I mean, you're obviously going to sing in a different way than you would, as you mentioned, Broadway, opera,
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a different it's definitely a different cadence, different tone, interpretation. Broadway, used to just like singing out, enunciating every word so everyone understands me. I mean, of course, you want people to understand what you're saying, but it's still like a swag, like your own personal swag. When I was trained to sing a certain way. Now I'm training to sing like me.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's what I was getting to. Like at some point, you have to start finding your voice. in this new arena right here.
Yeah.
And how easy did that come for you?
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy just from a Broadway singer to just a natural just singer, Caleb, like Caleb's voice. It took me a while. That's why I've been in the studio for like 4 years, just working on like what I wanted to do and being comfortable and telling my story, without,
Mhm.
because usually I had to sing other people's songs. Now I'm singing my songs. The words that I'd say, like things that I think about, my feelings. So it was like, oh, now I'm actually, it's not acting. It's like, this is me.
And funny how sometimes that's harder, of course.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, when you have to be yourself sometimes it's a little bit more challenging, but like when someone tells you to act like for me as an actor performer, it's always been like singing someone else's songs, singing their lives and like, all right, I can do that. But then it's like, all right, now tell your story. And it's like,
Right.
wow, how do you do that, And yeah, I've been doing that. So now we're on a roll.
Well, the first song we hear, as we've mentioned, is this debut single, "Neighborhood." Tell us a little bit about the creation of this one. Then, one, what the song's about, where it came from, but two, how you arrived at the sound that of this one.
Yeah. I'm working with this awesome producer. He came to me with the B, and we always talk via iMessage, and just like he tells me to send him ideas, like what do you want to talk about, what's going through your mind, how are you feeling. I just remember telling him just like, I want to make a song about like meeting a girl, but making sure like I can bring her back home, like to the family. Like it's like people don't realize like the meaning of the song is super deep, because everyone's initial like thought when they find someone they like, man, can I bring her back home? Can I bring her back home to my family? Can I bring her back home to my granny? But can I bring her around my friends? Like, is she the one? Is she for everybody else, or is she for me? And he was like, got you. And then he sent me that. I was like, oh, this man is great. All right, we're gonna go into the studio and kill this. I think it was like, we usually, sometimes if it's a song that I really like, I can do it in one day. Sometimes I have to go back, but like we one session and we finished the song.
Yeah, that's interesting too, because relationship, love, whatever you want to say, those songs are a dime a dozen. They're everywhere, but I can't actually, off the top of my head, recall one that's specifically about that subject.
Yeah.
Of bringing her home.
Exactly. I think that's. But you've thought about that. It's like he or she or him. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone always has that thought. Like, okay, she's cool around me. He's cool around me. But how will they be around my family? Will my family like them? Will she know what to say? Will he know what to say? Are they going to be the right person? I don't know. Like, will it feel the same? It changes. Like if you're a girl, or you're a guy partner doesn't get along with your family, I feel like all bets are off. It's like, I can't do it.
Messes up everything. It does.
Messes up a lot of things. It
Yeah.
depends on how much you like the person, but initially, like when you're young, you're like, I can't do it. They can't get along with my mom, my grandmother, my dad, my sister, my brother. Like, I can't do it. The friends, like, could she be around my friends? Is she for me, or is she for other people?
Right.
So
Otherwise, it's over.
it's over.
What about the others? You mentioned other styles. Are you actually writing in multiple styles right here, or have you kind of settled on a sound at the moment?
I know how my voice. I know what I want to do with my voice. A certain, like, I know I have my own sound, but we haven't settled on a specific genre, because we have like I don't want to speak into it, but this is the only song right now that sounds like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I was asking right there.
Exactly. Like there's no other song right now that sounds like the song that we dropped.
Yeah.
So the next song is gonna be a totally different energy, but same voice, same everything, but
Yeah.
totally different genre. So I really wouldn't put myself in a specific genre. I mean, I grew up loving R&B, neo soul. Stevie Wonder is my favorite artist of all time. I love Earth, Wind and Fire. I love a lot of old school artists. I've been inspired by them. A lot of old school songs. So it's just, yeah. This is the only song that sounds like that right now. There might be in the future, we might bring back another smooth vibe, but right now that's the only song that sounds like that in my catalog.
Was it a musical household growing up for you?
Oh, most definitely. My dad is a trained classical opera singer. My sister also sings. My brother sings. My older sister thinks she can't. My younger sister sings very well. My older sister thinks she can't sing, but she just didn't like, go into it. She didn't really like pursue it as much. But dancers, my brother dances, my sisters dance, I dance. My mom and dad were in performing arts. So it's like, we have a very well-rounded musical household and like a performing arts household.
Wow. And I'll point out the projects that you work on, talking about film. You tend to work maybe just by chance with other musicians as well. I was looking at, one of your most recent movies, Concrete Cowboys. You got Idris on there,
Yeah.
who, of course, famously, is in music as DJ. Do those conversations happen? I mean,
Definitely. I showed him my music. I showed him. Did I have this one? I'm not even sure if I had this song yet. I didn't have the song when we were filming Concrete. I had it later, but I showed him my other songs, and he was like, "Yo." He loved my music. I love his music, and I respect him as an artist, as an actor. He's a guru in this business. So I wanted to I wanted to show him like, hey, this is what I'm doing right now. And he's like, man, we need to get in the studio. So we'll get in the studio one of these days. When the time makes sense. But we definitely had conversations about that for sure.
Yeah, to have those opportunities, and of course, the other side of that, Stranger Things, where it seems like every single cast member has a music side. I've had Finn on here a few times. I know Joe does music. In fact, when I was listening to Neighborhood, I heard that woozy guitar, and my first thought was like, it's kind of like what Joe does a little bit with his music. Like, I'll pose the same question. When you're on that set, I mean, is everybody a musician? Is that part of the off-camera camaraderie?
It's crazy because Finn has his band right now. They're doing well. I mean, he had Calpurnia, now he's the Aubreys. Joe's doing his thing with his music. Gaten, he has a band. He's a singer. I met him on Broadway. I mean, Millie, Sadie can sing. I would say Noah. I'm not sure about him in the music side. But yeah, everyone's pretty. And then Maya, she's an artist as well. So it's the super talented cast. Like I really admire everyone and their talents and their artistry. Like they're doing very well. So I was just happy that I showed them some of my music on set and they loved it. So to get that support from them is always heartwarming from your your co-workers and everything. So
yeah, and I don't know, for you, I don't know if you say growing up, but coming up on that set where a show for me is as much about the soundtrack sometimes as it is the story. Of course, it's as it's been said a million times, set in a decade in the 80s and everything. But did you find that sort of rubbed off on you in any way? Were you exposed to that side of it while you're making it?
I think I wouldn't even. I mean, I am where I am because of my life and everything that I've been through. Of course, things influence you. Being around certain environments influence you. Of course, Stranger Things influenced me a lot and it's gotten me to where I am right now. I wouldn't be on this interview if I wasn't Caleb from Stranger Things, So it's kind of helping me build my career. But now I'm able to showcase my talents. Like I'm a singer, actor, dancer as well. But I mean, I've always loved old school like 80s music. Stevie Wonder's like in the 70s, so I think like 70s like Earth, Wind and Fire, 60s, So I think I would have been in this position probably in a different way, but I think I would have wanted to pursue my music career, no matter if I was in Stranger Things or not, or if I was around the 80s or if I was somewhere, I don't know, but I'm here right now, so this is what I know, what I'm doing. But yeah.
You might have been here anyway. I mean, again, Neighborhood's a great track.
I believe so. I believe, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna drop anything whack, I'm gonna make sure the production is together and we're gonna make sure it's right.
Yeah.
I've probably been working on it for 4 or 5 years now.
Which is amazing. It's amazing that you have the patience for that right there. That it wasn't just like, oh, I got something, let's put it out.
No, because like we probably have like over like 50 songs that we went through and it was just like, oh yeah, this is the one. Then you gotta sit on it a few months and you're like, maybe not yet. But then when you have the one, you like I've been sitting on this song probably like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, like a year and a half. And like I was like, nah, this is it. Every time I listen to it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a bop. Like we're gonna drop this. This is Caleb right here, Neighborhood. Let's do it.
Dude, it really is. It's such a strong debut. What you're doing. And for me, of course, I didn't know about this for 4 or 5 years, so it's kind of coming out of nowhere for me, and it really just, I mean, it's surprising in the best ways, you know.
Yeah, that's no, of course, exactly.
Yeah.
It's baby steps.
Baby steps. Well, I'll
Yeah.
be looking forward to the new singles. I mean, guessing there's a plan. Is that what the plan right now, to continue
There's
putting
a
these out?
there's a whole plan to this. This is not like, oh, we got a song, I want to drop it. Thanks, guys. All right, we're gonna go back in the studio and try to figure something else out. There's a whole plan. I'm excited for you guys to just tune in and vibe out with me and listen to my story and my thoughts.
Yeah. And in the meantime, of course, I'll also we got season 4 finally coming.
Yes, sir.
In the summer. I just had Paul Reiser on here a few weeks ago. We talking a little bit about just speculations and all that stuff.
Okay.
Since we're on the music thing, I'll just say this: last season of season 3, we got the Never-Ending Story. Are you going to get your moment, or can we expect any other cool music moments coming?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
It's always the maybe answer. You guys have gotten good at the maybe answer.
We're very good at this. We've been trained for the last 6-7 years now. We've been trained.
Yeah.
But no, the season's gonna be good. I think you'll get more than just music.
I'm hoping
Music's always good. Music's
Right.
always good, but it's gonna be a good season. It's gonna be the best yet, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I will say, as far as patience goes, the fact that everybody's been able to wait as long, of course, having the pandemic in the middle of you all having to wait a little bit. And now we still have to wait till summer. I'm like, oh, come on, you guys, you're killing me here.
That's one thing. Stranger Things has taught me patience.
Absolutely.
Definitely
Well,
has it been out for like 2-3 years now?
Right. Well, Caleb, I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to hear what comes next from the music project too. Congratulations on Neighborhood. And man, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about it.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right. Take care. We'll see you soon.
All right. See you soon.